Chevy would offer the Caprice in the North American market, first appearing as a trim package on the four-door Impala hardtop in 1965, becoming its own separate line of cars in 1966, and was offered until 1996. In 4 generations for the US market, the Caprice would last longer in foreign markets, going as long as 2017 in Australia. 1969 falls in the first generation, which was produced 1966, 67, 68, 69, 70. 1969 did see a bit of a redesign, so let's compare 68 on top, 69 on the bottom, starting in the front. Notice the grille and front fascia is completely different. It's important to note that both of these cars have concealed headlights, but the 68, they're just opened for the time being, and the 69 are closed. Bumpers, completely different. Hood profiles are totally different. Look at the design on the 68 versus the 69. The 69 has a much larger center line with Chevrolet spelled out in block formation on the nose of the car. There's also a Chevy badge inside the grille, or on the grille, I should say, on the 69 versus Chevy badge on the nose of the car on the 68, but it's on the painted piece that's right above the grille. Notice how different these two grills are. The bumpers are totally different as well. The 68 looks to have a marker light of sorts at the top of the bumper piece on the front fascia, whereas it's just all bumper piece on the fascia on the 69. Looking down the side between these two, you can tell that the sheet metal has been changed. The wheel openings on the 69 are capped off with petite trim that carries on to the rocker trim, and then it goes back to petite trim around the rear wheel well, or wheel opening, I should say. The 68 doesn't have that. It doesn't look like it has trim on the wheel openings themselves. The rocker trim is different. It actually looks like it's rocker molding. The 68 has vent windows where the 69 does not have vent windows. Vinyl roof on 69 versus steel roof on 68, but those might have been options. The 68 also has fender skirts where the 69 doesn't. Moving aft, as you can see this picture, the 68 has a vinyl roof, so it must have been an option on that car as well. But just take stock that the vent window situation is there on the 68, is not there on the 69. Sheet metal, totally different. Look at how drastically different the sheet metal is at this angle. But with that said, it still uses the same core and chassis that they used back in 66. And at this angle, you could tell that it's not rocker molding. It's more or less like a belt line molding. Rear bumpers are drastically different, if you can even call it that. The chrome piece at the back. The tail lights are more circular on the 68 versus rectangular on the 69. The trunk deck lid profile has also changed. There is a taller, it's still a petite center line that happens on the deck lid on the 68 versus there is a center line on the 69, but whenever it gets up to the deck lid part itself, it totally smooths out, which you'll see during the walk around. Jumping inside to take a quick gander at the dash and interior situation, which you've guessed it, both different. Gauge cluster has been revised. Air vents also revised. 3-spoke steering wheel on the 68 versus 2-spoke steering wheel on the 69. Which one do you like better? If you're digging this experience, give us a like and subscribe to What It's Like, the automotive channel that shows you these cars like you've never seen them before. If you have any memories and stories associated with these cars, feel free to share them in the comment section. 1969 Chevy full-size car offerings was broken down into 4 different models: Biscayne, Bel Air, Impala, and Caprice. 1969 Chevy Caprice could be had in 2-door hardtop coupe, 4-door hardtop sports sedan, and 4-door wagon, which was now known as the Kingswood Estate. Options and features. Apparently, the concealed headlights were optional for 1969, and only for 1969, headlight washers could be added. Another really cool option was the liquid tire chain, which was vacuum operated and it would spray ice melt on the rear tires. General Motors also made an all-new variable speed power steering unit that was available across the board. Let's talk specs. 216 inches long, 79.8 inches wide. It's around 55.4 inches tall. It rides a wheelbase of 119 inches. It weighs 3,895 pounds. Price, $3,346, which would be equivalent to you spending $28,774.23 in the year 2025. Total 1969 Chevy was 2,092,947 units. Of that number, total Caprice, 166,900 units. Moving on to engines, which there was a plethora of different engines to choose from, starting out in the proverbial basement. 327 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8, which was part of the small block Chevy family, 5.4 liters. It was good for a 235 horsepower at 4,800 RPM. Makes up to 325 pound-feet or 441 newton meters around 3,200 RPM. Bore and stroke sizes, I have to say, might be rounded. Bore is 4 inches, stroke 3.3 inches, compression is 9-to-1 with 5 main bearings. When backed with a 3-speed manual, 0 to 60 could be had in 9.8 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 115 miles per hour while achieving an average 12.7 to 15 miles to the gallon. It's also important to note that the last year for the 327 was 1969. It would be replaced with Chevy's 350 cubic inch displacement V8, which was also part of the small block engine family, 5.7 liters. It was good for either 255 or 300 horsepower at 4,800 RPM, 365 pound-feet or 495 newton meters with a bore of 4 inches and a stroke of 3.5 inches. Compression was either 9-to-1 or 1025-to-1 with 5 main bearings. When backed with a 3-speed manual, 0 to 60 could be had in 8 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 125 miles per hour while achieving an average of anywhere between 11.3 to 15 miles to the gallon. Moving on to the first big block offering, 396 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8. This engine was part of the Chevy big block family, 6.5 liters. It was good for 265 horsepower at 4,800 RPM, 400 pound-feet or 542 newton meters at 2,800 RPM with a bore of 4.1 inches and a stroke of 3.8 inches. Compression was 9-to-1, 5 main bearings. When backed with a 3-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60 could be had around 7.9 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 125 miles per hour, which seems a bit conservative. Average fuel consumption, 9 to 12 miles to the gallon. Moving on to the biggest and baddest engine on offer for the Chevy Caprice, which was the 427 V8 overhead valve, which was also part of the Chevy's big block family, 7 liters. It was good for either 335 horsepower or 390 horsepower at 4,800 RPM. 460 pound-feet or 624 newton meters, 3,600 RPM with a bore of 4.3 inches and a stroke of 3.8 inches. Compression is 1025-to-1, 5 main bearings. When backed with a 3-speed manual with the big horsepower 390, 0 to 60 could be had in 6.8 seconds. Theoretical top speed of 140 miles per hour while achieving an average of 6 to, you might be able to get 10 out of it, but I don't think you'd be able to get 10 out of it at full tilt. Transmission. Chevy offered 5 different transmissions to choose from, 2 3-speed manuals. One of them was special, the other one was just a regular 3-speed, 4-speed manual, 2-speed power glide automatic, and 3-speed turbo hydromatic automatic. If you've been looking for a 1969 Chevy 4-door sports sedan to tour around with your family spring, summer, and fall, I know a place where one is currently for sale. Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, where they got this car, and they got 1,000 other cars currently for sale. Anybody can go and peruse their inventory at their showroom in Morgantown. 4 hours of operation, directions, and to get the full scoop on this very car, Be sure to click the link below after the show. Real quick announcement. We are going live tomorrow, Thursday, January 23rd, with Motor Car Portfolio around 3 p.m. If you're available and you just want to sit around and talk cars, because that's what we're going to do on that, we're just going to sit around and talk cars, I invite you to be part of the conversation. So I hope to see you in the comments section tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Let's talk styling, starting with this bumper. Just check out how this is designed. Also notice the grille, how it kind of sort of wraps around. It doesn't wrap around. It's a totally different piece, this is. It's not even connected to that. It's just interesting that they put that grille piece in there just for filler. I don't know what the thought process was, but it's cool nonetheless. These... Oh, also notice, where are the headlights? You could see the headlights right behind this panel. Turn signal indicators are recessed in the valance. Also notice the grille in that valance as well. This one has underriders on the bumper, or bumperettes. Notice how this comes to a peak here, the bottom and the top, with the Chevy badge in the center that has a peak. The peak continues center line. Notice that the R in Chevrolet rests on the center line that goes back towards the single piece curved windshield. .427 badging there. Notice how this bevels down. Wheel openings are capped off with bright work. This one's riding on 225/70 R15s. It has rocker trim. This car is laser straight. The hood profile on this is super smooth, all things considered, except for this center line. Do have an external cowl with stainless steel trim. This one has turn signal indicators on the hood as well as another light. Just take a gander at that mirror, how it is designed. I really like the base on that. Super cool. This car does have drip rails, which start right here, and they run the cabin of the car. Caprice on the sail panel, and the vinyl roof kind of sort of comes back on the trunk a little bit, but notice how the back of the trunk rises up. And it comes to a point there in the center as well. Here's a better look at how straight this car is. Man, it's just laser straight. I've never seen a 69 Capri in this good of condition, four-door hardtop. This is the only four-door hardtop that I've ever seen in person, to be 100% honest with you guys. So, you got the three taillights look, even though this one is backup light. Also, check out how this comes outward. Bumpers are completely different in the back from the front. You do have, look at how this lock is recessed. There is a slight crease, but then it just gets smoothened out. It's a completely smooth deck lid. Caprice by Chevrolet. And the passenger side is just as straight as the driver's side. Tinted windows. The windshield is also tinted. This door. Every single car that I've gotten in today, the doors are just gargantuan in weight. For the size of this door, it has a lot of heft to it. Also, check out how thick it is. This feels like a plushy vinyl material up at the top that runs down until this bright bar, and then it goes into a carpet material with another bright bar. Armrest door handle to close the door with. Door handle to get out. Lock and unlock the door. Power window switches. Toggle switch for the side mirror. Coming down inside the pedal box down here. High beam switch on the floor. Brake pedal. Brake pedal release. This one is the actual brake pedal. This one's like the parking brake or the emergency brake. I would not recommend pushing that down while driving. It wouldn't be good, especially on a wet surface. You'll have a really bad day. This one's the main brakes, which it says power brakes, gas pedal down here. Just take a look at that design of the gas pedal. It looks like a shorty J, like they cut off the hook of the J. Over here, this controls a footwell vent, because what a lot of people won't tell you is these muscle cars, they put out a lot of heat, and it's really nice to be able to open up a vent and bring a footwell vent and bring in fresh air from outside to get rid of the heat from the engine coming from the firewall. I had a 67 Mustang, and I remember driving that. Sometimes it was like my foot was going to melt to the gas pedal. It got so hot. Take a gander at this interior. Here is what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood would look like.
On to the button switches and knobs, starting on the left end, moving right, gasoline gauge, 120 mile per hour speedometer, odometer just below it. Drive modes read park, reverse, neutral, drive, low second, low first. Climate temperature dial with slider for off, low, high, rear, defog and de-ice. Headlights, washer button, wiper slider, series of warning lights, left turn signal indicator, defog, high and low switch, air vent at the base of the steering wheel. By simply connecting the dots on where the air will blow, I can't say what it is because some people will say that I'm creepy, but hey, I didn't design this car. I'm just pointing out that General Motors had a thing for crotch ventilation. Take it up with them if you have something creepy to say. I'm not trying to be creepy. Aftermarket AM FM cassette unit, and the reason I say that it's aftermarket is because it has an auxiliary button, but it looks stock at first glance, which is super nice. 7,000 RPM tachometer, more warning lights, right turn signal indicator, and I'm not entirely sure what this is. Can you tell us in the comment section, please and thank you.
Above, there are sun visors, and they look like this. Another one over here for the passenger. There is a cutout for the... That startled me. I wasn't expecting that to happen. All right. There's a cutout for the rear view mirror. It has a daytime, nighttime feature, the rear view mirror does. And you can have both of the sun visors in place and it not interfere with the rear view mirror. There is an accessory mirror over there so the passenger can see themselves. On to the glove box test. Here's our test subject. Here's my hand for reference. My hand's 7.5 inches long, just for reference, to give you scale of how absolutely massive this thing is. And it probably weighs about 5 pounds, maybe more. But here is the glove box question. Look at that glove box. Isn't that different? All right. So it doesn't fit in that way. So move it this way. The lock mechanism is proving to be a problem. Let's try it the other way. Oh, it's getting all dirty. I don't know if I could do that. Oh yeah. Yep. I'm gonna call it. It's not gonna fit. I mean, it might, but it's getting all dirty. I'm gonna say it's not going to fit. Let's talk about the seats. The seats, they're made of it almost feels like a nylon material. Like, I don't know, like women's panties. Not trying to be creepy. I'm just saying that they're interesting feeling. There is an armrest here in center. Can come down like this, or you can move it out of the way and somebody else can sit here. Ashtray, cigarette lighter. I just wanted to show you this because I've always questioned how these doors worked. You have this post that comes up about halfway and it's super rigid. It doesn't move, it doesn't flex, and it needs to be super rigid to carry the weight of this door. When the two doors are open, it just looks so alien because there's no pillar there. It looks super cool though, I think. And you can't shut the front door until you shut the back door. Also, notice this little tiny trim piece right here. It has the door guards. The rear door is a lot like the front door, only it's in the back, and it has another feature on it. It has an ashtray, armrest, door handle to pull the door shut, door handle to get out. It also has a power window switch here. Door lock. Just take a look at all of the space that you have back here. Here's what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the pillar to glass ratio of this car. It's really nice. It's pretty airy despite it having a black interior. Usually black interior cars, it makes you feel more, have more of an intimate feel, more cozy. But this one feels pretty airy. That's what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. Nice big parcel shelf. I love the way that sail panel looks. It's pretty cool how it angles there, and then it just has an even longer elongated angle. It just looks cool. Let's talk about the seat back profile. It's pretty comfortable back here though, all things considered. Pretty straight up and down. It dips down slightly and then curves. Notice all the little buttons. No armrest in center. There is a coat hook there. Dome light in the center. Another coat hook here. We talked about all the stuff on the door panel. Knee situation. I got tons of knee space. The transmission tunnel, it does come up rather high, so whoever sits in the middle would have to straddle. They'll have to straddle this, but I don't think it would be that bad. Coming through the under the hood section, the hood release is right here. You just push it to the left. Oh, second catch somewhere. It's all one motion. There it is. 427, baby! Turbojet, 390 horsepower is what they're advertising. They got a 12-volt battery, 2 horns, massive radiator. 2-belt system. Has one belt that runs the alternator. Nope, I lied. It's a 3-belt system. You have one belt that runs the alternator and fan water pump combo. Then you have another belt that runs just the power steering pump. Then you have another belt that runs the air conditioning compressor. This one's got a dual master cylinder with power brakes. Looks like they still got a mechanical fuel pump way down inside.
On the positive side, honestly, this is the first time that I've ever encountered one. They have very clean styling that held up well, in my opinion. Cool yet interesting seat material, which is super comfortable. This car looks great with either the headlights in the open or concealed position, which is hard to pull off because not many cars can pull that off in both. This car has loads of engine and transmission choices to choose from. 4-door sports sedans are just plain cool. Against it, it's a big car, so they can be thirsty with the high horsepower engines. A lot of gauges have been replaced by warning lights. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. 2 scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have 1969 Ford LTD 4-door hardtop or 1969 Chevy Caprice 4-door sports sedan or 1969 Plymouth Fury 3 4-door hardtop? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. On to the second scenario, a bit outside the box, but which one would you rather have? 1969 AMC Ambassador 4-door sedan or 1969 Chevy Caprice 4-door sports sedan or 1969 Pontiac Le Mans 4-door hardtop? Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to give all 3 the name of the song, the name of the artist/band, and the lyric or line that comes next will have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. I never thought I could feel this way, and I've got to say that I just don't get it. So to reiterate, I need the name of the band or artist, song title, and the next line that comes next to have your comment pinned to the top of the comment section. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If this was your first time ever checking out what it's like, just know we post 4 to 5 mini documentaries a week with engine episodes peppered in. If you have any stories to share, please share them in the comment section. I love reading the comments and the stories that you guys share. Until next time, toodaloo! Oh yeah, and just a reminder, tomorrow we are going live at around 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over at Motorcar Portfolio. I hope to see you there. But you have reached the after party. This part of the video doesn't have any sound and or commentary, but you can put whatever sound or music you would like in the background. You get to see this car like you've never saw it before. Enjoy.